An open letter to Daniel Macy, who along with 3 other white men entered the 4th precinct of North Minneapolis and fired upon a crowd protesting the murder of Jamar Clark. When I saw the mugshots, 3 white faces side by side with a pair of eyes, with your peach skin with a head of hair that could have been my own, I wondered if you too wondered what it means to be Asian in this country. We're the highest PhDs per capita and the lowest high school graduation rates by ethnicity and have the same checkbox on the census. We're Chinese Americans whose ancestors have been here longer than the Irish are still asked what country do they come from. Yet to be called the model minorities who do so well in school, who pull themselves up by the bootstraps, they look at us and say, those Asians can make it, why can't black people get it together? You are poor, but at least you aren't black. You are illiterate, but at least you aren't black. You are lost, but at least you aren't black. They tell us, what does it mean to live in a country founded on violence against black and brown bodies when my skin is neither, to face racism, but to sleep easier knowing that every 28 hours one of my brothers or sisters has not been murdered by the police. And I remember how my mother and father purchased their first house only because the indigenous people who once called this space home were displaced by white settlers, how I cast my first vote as an Asian American, as the son of a refugee only because of the black activists who fought for it. Decades before me, we fight so hard for our piece of the pie. We fight so hard for our piece of the pie, so busy killing each other over crumbs that we forget to ask who's holding the knife. Our money will not save us, Daniel. Our silence will not save us. Replace one word in today's headlines, read like a history book. Ban all Muslims in the name of national security. Internment camps are the only solution to Japanese espionage. Affirmative action repealed in the state of California on the backs of Asian American voters who received an education because of it. The police who handcuffed and murdered Jamar Clark belonged to the same city that put 8 shots into the back of Fallen Lee. Daniel, they say that we are too different, black and Asian, destinies too distant. What about Grace Lee Boggs, champion of Detroit, who believed that a revolution that does not represent everyone is not a revolution at all? What about Richard Aoki, who scrapped alongside Bobby Seale and Huey Newton on the streets of Oakland? What about Yuri Kochiyama, who cradled a bleeding Malcolm X in her lap during his last seconds breathing? What about these model minorities, Daniel? I cannot pretend to know your history, but based on your appearance in a country where appearances can kill a man, all I can do is wonder. Maybe you asked yourself once, if I laugh enough about black people and fried chicken, will they stop making fun of how kimchi smells? If I keep criticizing the size of Nicki Minaj's ass, will they stop calling me William Hung? If I kill a black person, will they finally let me belong here?